The Wiccan community is actually upset at the Port Brewing Company in California.
It's a beer company, a beer distributor.
Yes, a beer distributor. And they're upset with this beer distributor because they have one beer called Witch's Wit.
Mm-hmm.
And the beer features a label that has a woman burning at the stake.
Okay.
And then they have a label.
Obviously a witch, because it's called Witch's
Wit.
Witch's Wit.
Which doesn't really make any sense.
Well,
If there's a witch burning at the stake, how is that witty?
Yeah, but it's a witch.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's the witch part. They're just trying to be alliterative and clever.
Right.
Right.
So,
they have the wit because they're so clever.
Right. Except it's not that witty.
No, it's not that witty.
Anyway, so this label has actually drawn a lot of criticism from women's groups and from Wiccans.
Right, I get the women's groups.
Right, and the women's groups are mad because they think it's misogynistic. They're showing a woman being burned with men watching.
Yeah, it's a witch.
Right.
And it's obviously, can we see it again? It's obviously, from the olden days. It's not, come on. You know what? I don't care about the women's groups either. Sorry.
So the beer company says, one of the spokespeople from the beer company released a statement. This is what he said. "We have a stack of emails asking whether we would show Jews being gassed or African Americans being lynched. Others seem to think we were responsible for recent incidents in Darfur as well. It was an amazing chain of events, to say the least."
Right. I mean,
so people are comparing this to discrimination against African Americans or Jews being gassed. There's like zero similarity to that. Like, I could understand it. Look, if I were a Wiccan, okay, I could understand being.
If you were a Wiccan.
If I were a Wiccan, I would understand being a little offended by the label. I don't want to completely dismiss that. Okay.
If I were a Wiccan, sorry, I'd Wiccan in the morning. I'd Wiccan in the evening. All right, sorry.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I would be maybe a little offended, but I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, this is like when the United States had slavery and enslaved African Americans. Like, you can't draw similarities like that. I mean, not similarities, comparisons like that. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
That totally discredits whatever argument you have.
Yeah, they're making a little odd, crazy reference to when we burned witches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun. We have Halloween. People play witches. People don't dress at Halloween as Jews. Mm-hmm. People are like, hey, what are you for Halloween? I'm a slave. Come on. No, look, you know what? You can get offended sometimes.
Right.
And I would think, by the way, that most Wiccans would be like, oh, look at that. It's awesome.
Really?
I mean, like, it's not, yeah. I mean, part of
Look, I could understand why they'd be upset because it pushes these stereotypes that are, not necessarily true. I mean, the Wiccan community is not evil, and they don't, like, sit in their living room or their basement, like, stirring a big...
Do we know? Do you know for sure?
I do know for sure.
They don't do that?
Maybe I'm a witch.
See, but that's
I dabbled with
they stir up a witch's brew.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's funny. Again, it's not the most clever thing that's ever happened.